So now let's to talk about our today's topic is the Reyee Hotel Solution. So I think many customers list this solution because for the Reyee Hotel, for the hotel scenario, we need to develop the network about the wellness network and wear network. So here is a picture for you to introduce the hotel scenario. And we can see in this hotel scenario, we provide many areas for our hotel customers. So for example, here is the reception area, right? And for the reception area, our Reyee, our customers need to do the check-in, and sometimes customers wait on the holding area. So for this customers, we need to provide the public wellness network so that they can check in, use their phone, right? So for the public area, we can provide the public wellness network and don't need to do the authentication for our customer so that they can access to the wellness network. And to another area we can see is hotels, customers, guests. So for the picture, we can see to the customers, we provide the service like, for example, the wellness network, the wear network. For the wellness network, we provided to our customers' PC, laptop, or the phone, right? And for the wear network, we provided to our customer, such as the IPTV service, the IP phone service, and the data service. Okay, after this, we also provide the service to the meeting room. So our hotel customer need to access to network and have the meeting or have the meeting online through the videos. So we have to provide the stable network to our customer. And the last area is our staff area. So otherwise, we have to provide our network to our customer. So we also have to provide the network service to the staff because the staff actually leads the wellness network so that they can work with the Wi-Fi, right? So we can provide the account or the venture authentication to our staff. Of course, except the indoor area, we also have to provide the outdoor service to the hotel's clients. So such as the swimming pool or the activity place. So whatever for this area, we have to provide like the full wellness coverage and to help our customer organize or measure our network easily and quickly. So for the management, actually, we provide like the SON, like the Reyee Cloud to help our customer measure and maintain our network easily and quickly. So now let's end into how to do the configuration and about our Reyee Hotel Solution typical topology. Okay, now we can see this is our Reyee Hotel Solution typical topology. And for this topology, we provide one routers and one RGBS series switch as the core switch. And then to provide the RGBS 200 switch and RGBS switch as the access switch. So here, otherwise, we have provided three kinds or three types APs. So for the first AP is installed in lobby or the hallway. So for this kind, AP can connect it with the IP camera to provide the CCTV service. And to the second types of our AP device, so actually it's installed in our guest rooms. So in guest rooms, actually we provide the wellness network for our customer. And also we have to provide the wear network. So we provide like this WAR AP to install in every guest rooms so that we can provide the weird interface such as the IPTV and the IP phone so that we can connect this device to our WAR AP. Okay, and the next is the outdoor AP. So we can install in the swimming pool and activities and activity place so that can connect the IP camera and provide the wireless network to our customer. So this is the solution typical topology. So all of this solution about the configuration, we will based on this topology to do. Okay. And next, we can see some requirements for our network. First, like the data service, IP phone service, and CCTV service. We provide all of this service for our customer. Actually, for this service, we have to spare it. So for different service, we will do the isolation for every network. So for example, for the IPTV, we create one VLAN. And for IP phone service, we create one VLAN. And for CCTV, we create one VLAN. So every VLAN will provide the service for every network. Okay, after this, we have to provide the full average of the wellness environment to our hotel different customers, such as the staff, visitors, guests. Okay, and then we also have to do multiple authentication way to provide to our customer. So for example, for our staff, we can provide the authentication like the account. So we give them account with the username and password. And after then, our staff can access to the network through the username and password. Okay. And we provide the public wellness network to our public guests. So after this, we also can provide the venture authentication way to our guests. Okay. And then, after that, we provide some function like the multiple one and intelligent load balance, intelligent wellness, and intelligent weird optimization. And the new function is the AI heat map. We will to provide this function for our hotel network. So we can connect the products like this simple topology. We connect the IPTV server with our MBS switch. And then for the IPTV client and IP phone client, we can connect it to the IP device. So this is indoor AP, okay. And actually, we also provide like the data center service and data service and IP phone service and the IPTV service. So you can connect the IPTV service to our AP device. And now let's end into the configuration part. And here we can see some configuration like the device management, device generation configuration, and the special service configuration. So it's included the SON network and device online in Reyee Cloud. This is the two ways for us to manage our Reyee Hotel network easily. Okay, so after the management, we will learn the generate configuration. We can create the VLAN information and do the DHCP. And to create the VMware basic network. And the third is special service configuration includes the authentication. We can do the multiple authentication for our different customers and then includes the IPv service. So actually the IPv service is very important for hotel, this scenario. And then we will learn the advanced function configuration. For this part, actually not every one configuration or not every one function our customer needs, but if they need, we can introduce or we can learn about this part. This part is about some advanced function, okay, include like some AI heat map, Wi-Fi optimization, AI rooming. So now let's end into the first part is SON. I think the SON, self-organizing network, this function, and his function is auto discovery, auto networking, auto configuration about our Reyee network. So here is a topology. We can see for this topology, we have the routers. We have the routers and we have core switch, we have the SAS switch, right? And also we have the AP device. So whatever the type, the device you are, and for the SON, actually we easily to combine this device together. We just to connect the line or the physical line to each other. Okay, so that they can auto discovery with each other and auto networking. So in this process, we don't need to configure any additional configuration so that they can recognize each other. Actually, for SON protocol, we will leave two protocols. First is EasyDisk, and second is MQTT. Actually, for the EasyDisk protocol, it's responsible for neighbor discovery, master election, and notification. And for MQTT, the responsibility is networking equipment information and the collection of STA information and the synchronization of configuration information. Okay. So for the EasyDisk, actually first we have to choose in one topology, which is the master. So for example, now for one device, actually we have different rules for one device, like unknown and the slave and the master. So for every device, actually we have 3 rules to choose. Okay, so from the beginning, actually the rules is unknown, and after we combine this device together, and they have to choose which is master, and then different types of the device where to compare some parameters and choose which is master. So for the first parameter actually is the type. So for the different type about our device, such as the EG, such as the SW, such as the AP, okay, for the different types, they will compare and then to choose which is master. So here, for the priority about different device, the rules is the EG bigger than AP, bigger than SW. So for one topology, if we find no EG and we just have AP device in the topology, and we will choose the master within this AP device. Okay, so because the priority of every AP is the same, we have to choose which AP is the master. So now we have to compare the parameter. Okay, so which parameter we can compare is the MAC address. So now about this AP, we have to compare the AP MAC address. The MAC address is bigger, and then this device will become master. So this is the master election. And for the EasyDisk, actually use the parts, the 43561 and 43562 to do the master election and to do the neighbor discovery. Okay. And for the MQTT, actually, it's responsible to collection the networking equipment information and collection the STA information and synchronization of configuration information. And use the port is the TCP 1883 to communication. So for EasyDisk and MQTT, 2 kinds of the protocols. Actually, we don't need to configure the IP address for that. We support the fake IP address and support the non-IP address discovery. So this is the SON service process. And if we want to focus on the process about our SON. Actually, we can connect our PC to the device such as MBS device, and then we can look at the process about our SON. So in this process, we don't need to do any additional configuration. Okay. So now let's take at how to do the SON. This is the video for you. Okay, first we can connect our PC actually with the MBS device. Okay, and then we can search the device in our network. So here we can see some device has been discovered in our network, such as the IP device, MBS device, okay, and the RGES device. So about this device, we can do discovery about this device, and then we combine it to one network. So by the default, the network ID is 0, and after this, we combine it to the new network. We will generate a new network ID, okay. And then we can configure the network information and to set the SSID information and to set the management password. Okay, and after this, actually, we can create the network and do the connect with our device. So during this process, we don't need to configure the IP address, and we don't need to configure the additional configuration about our network. Okay, after this, actually, the SON configuration is finished, and then we will see the topology about the whole network. So this is the process. It's very simple for you to measure our network, and we can see the device topology here. Okay, and next page is the device online in Reyee Cloud. So for Reyee Cloud, actually, it's replaced some function like the AC device and the 3A device and manager portal device. We just can relate this function by our Reyee Cloud. So for Reyee Cloud, actually, we provide the 3 types protocols to support the protocol between Reyee Cloud and the Reyee device. First is the CWMP, and second is MQTT, and the third is the COAP. So now let's take a look at about our protocols. For this format, actually, we just focus on the factory cloud address about this parameter, okay? Because this is very important for us to do the troubleshooting. So sometimes if you find you can't log in the Reyee Cloud, you can do the test for our customer. So actually now we use the MQTT protocol in our Reyee product. It's for EG device, MBS device, and IP device. And for the version is after P206 and later version. If you find the device can't log in the Reyee Cloud, you can use this URL to test. So first you can ping the internet, such as ping a.a, and you find the network is okay, right? And then you still can't log in at the Reyee Cloud, so you can choose to ping the cloud address. For example, if you are a MBS or EG device or the IP device, you can ping the ryrcmq.reyeetnetworks.com, this URL, to test the connection or to test About this URL, our DNS can help to analyze, and the results is correct or not correct. Okay, and if the device is the ES device, okay, and you can use the ltrc.regionnetworks.com. So for the ES serial switch, if you want to test the communication, you can connect our PC to ES device so that you can test with this URL if our ES device can log in on our internet. So this is the factory cloud address function. So after this, we can learn some details about MQTT and CWMP and CUAP protocols. For the CWMP, actually, it supports the Reyee GNBS and the IP device before the P206 version, and after the P206 version, and we use MQTT protocols. So why we use the MQTT protocol? Because it's very fast when our device can online in our Reyee cloud, and when the device is not online, is offline, and our Reyee cloud can find the connection quickly. So it's very fast for the Reyee device and Reyee cloud to build the TCP connection quickly. Okay, now let's see the videos and how to use our app to do the device management. So now we can use our mobile phone and install the app. Okay, and then to start our network on Reyee cloud. So now we can do the self configuration and to create the project name, and then to set the management password information and choose the scenario. Okay, and then to set the SSID information and to set if we can do the SSID encryption or not do the encryption. If we do the encryption, we have to configure the Wi-Fi password and choose the country or the region for our device. And through this process, actually, we can see the results about our project. We can see many details here. Okay, so actually, it's the same process on our website. I can do this simple for you. So can you see my website? Okay, so actually it's the same operation for us to do. Is first to add the project, okay, and then to create the name. So for example, a hotel. And then for the magic password, and choose the scenario here, okay, and the time zone. And click the next to search the service we can add it. So for example, if you want to add the AP device and the switch device, gateway device, we can connect all of the different device tabs to our network, and then to set the SSID information. So for example, the hotel A. And then to choose if you want to do the encryption or not encryption here. Okay, so here we choose no encryption, it's a public device, and then set OK. So now we are adding to at the device. So here we have to add into the SN information. So AP, gateway, and the switch. After we add into the SN information and we click the finish, so the project we can see in our list in our list. Okay, so this is the operation for Reyee Cloud to add the service to create the project. And then we back to our training material. Okay, and next we will do some generic configuration. Includes the VLAN, DHCP, and the VMware's basic. I think for the VLAN and the DHCP and the VMware's, someone has very familiar with this part. So we are simple to introduce how to configure and what's the parameter we have to configure in this part. So actually for this page, we just focus on the VID information. The VID information actually is the VLAN information. And now for our network, actually, it's very important for us to do the network clean. For example, we have the IPTV service and the data service and the voice service and the CCTV service. Okay, and for every different service, we have to configure one VLAN. For example, the IPTV, we use the VLAN 100. The data, we use the VLAN 200, and the voice is 300. And okay, and the CCTV is 400. So for different VLAN ID information, we can do the isolation for every service. Okay, so yeah, of course, after the training, I will send this training material to your email. Okay. So for this VID information is the VLAN ID, and we can use this VLAN ID to identify about this service. So of course, for different SSID, such as SSID1 and SSID2 and SSID3, we also can use the different VLAN information, such as the VLAN 10 and the VLAN 20 and the VLAN 30. And to identify every VLAN information about every SSID information. Okay, this is the VLAN function. And after this, actually, for the VLAN function is the tab. And we have the tab for you to choose. One is the SAS, and second is the track. For the SAS, it's usually to connect with our PC. Okay, and for the track, actually, usually to configure between two switches. If you want multiple VLAN information through this part, I suggest you can use the trunk to configure this part. So now, let's look at about the DHCP function. The DHCP function actually in our environment is the DHCP client and DHCP server. So here for our topology, we can see the NBR device and NBS device. So in our environment, we can choose the NBR device or the NBS device to become our DHCP server. Okay, for example, here is a pool switch, and the pool switch can become the DHCP server. For our device, okay, this is the user. And we can provide the different SSID information, including to the different DHCP port. For example, the 192.168.1.0. For this segment, we provide to our users for one SSID information. Of course, to another SSID information, we can provide, for example, 192.168.2.0, and segment is 24 for SSID 2. Okay, So it's for different, and of course includes the service. For example, it's IPTV service, and we can create the segment is 192.168.130 for IPTV service. Okay, so for different service, we can provide the different network segment to our users. So we can do the DHCP server configuration on core switch or choose the router device. So we can see this configuration in our videos. Okay. So here is the DHCP process. And for the DHCP process, actually is between in the DHCP client and the DHCP server. So for this process, it's very simple. And for the DHCP client, it's forced to send the DHCP discover to our server. And then our server will replay the DHCP offer to our client. And then our client will send the DHCP request to DHCP server. And after this, the DHCP server will respond the DHCP ACK packet to the DHCP client. Okay, so this is a simple process between the DHCP client and the server. And of course, sometimes we will make some scenario like the IP address rejection and release. For example, you tap the comments like the IP configure release or the IP configure renew. So for this, actually, we will to do the IP address release. If you tap the IP configure release and will lead to the DHCP release process. If you use the IP configure renew, so we will to request the IP address from the beginning. Okay, so this is the DHCP process introduction. And then we will see the protocol about our SSID. So here is the different STA device in our network, and our AP will provide the SSID or the VNR's network to every STA. So in our network for hotel scenario, we can provide the different types SSID, such as the staff SSID, okay, and the guest SSID, and the public SSID, okay, and outdoor SSID. Actually, for different SSID, we can provide service for different customers. For example, the staff actually is provide to our employees, and the guest is to provide for every guest customer. And the public actually provides the VNR's network for our public guests, and they don't need to do the authentication for this network. And for the outdoor network, actually, it's for the swimming pool and the activity place, like this. So here we provide the different SSID encryption model. And here is the open and WEP open, WP shared key, and WPA or WPA2 PSK, and WPA or WPA2.802.1x. So for different SSID encryption, we can see many details in this form. Actually, for the open and WEP open, it's not safe, but it's suitable for some place, like the public place, for example, the airport, the stations. For this place, actually, we don't need to do the encryption for this place. And for our customer can access the network easily, and they don't need to tap any password or any username information to access our VNR's network. Okay, and then the WP shared key actually is a kind of the encryption way to do the VNR's network, but because this way is not safe enough, so we don't suggest you configure this way. Because actually for the customer, it's not safe for our networks. We use the share key authentication to do the encryption. So for example, now there is a user and there is an AP. And from the user and AP, actually, we will related 3 segments, 3 process. First, actually, which have to scan which AP can provide the service for me, right? This is the scan process. And the second is the authentication. We have to compare the authentication information between the user and the AP. Actually, the user can do the authentication and then send the authentication request to the AP, and then the AP can send the authentication response to our user. And after this, we can do the association between the user and the AP. And then we can see for the process, it's the user and the AP to send the query and request to our AP device, and the AP device will send the probable response to the user. And after then, the scan is successful, but the second step, we have to do the authentication. And the user about our AP device will send the authentication response request to our AP. And our AP will answer the authentication response to our user. So this is the second process. So of course, for the user and AP, if we use the WEP shared key this way to do the encryption model, and our user will send the data which is encrypted by the shared key, but the key is a static key. And we will use the static key to encrypt the random number, and then for this results sent to the AP. And the AP received these results and to use this key and encrypt the random number and compare with these results. If the results is successful, and we can answer the author response. If the results is fair, so we will feedback the failed results to our users so that the user can't access the network. Okay, so the WPA and WPA2 PSK for this encryption mode is different from the WP shared key, because for the WPA or WPA2 PSK, this way actually it provides a dynamic key for us to use or to encrypt our data. So it's very safe for now our customers. It's higher than the WP shared key. So we suggest you can use this way to do the encryption model. And for the last is the WPA or WPA2 80.1x. Actually, for this tab, we have to set the third-party authentication server. So it will cost our customers some money. Okay. And here is the networking plane. And for networking plane, we also to introduce the weird network and the weirdness network. Here is for except the default VLAN information, we create the IPTV VLAN. And the IPTV VLAN, we use the IP range is 192.168.130.0. And the VLAN information is 130. And for weirdness network, we provide the different SSID to access. For example, staff, public, and guest. And for staff, we use the 192.168.30.0, and the VLAN information is 30. And for the public SSID, we use the 192.168.40.0, and the VLAN information is 40. For the guest SSID, we use 192.168.50.0, and the VLAN information is 50. So for different SSID, we can provide the different wireless network to different types customer. Okay, so now let's just see this videos how to configure the network about our indoor. So actually, first we have to go to the network part. So we switch over to the network part and find the network. And then we have to add the wireless network. And we choose the add. And add the wireless VLAN information. Here we can tap into the Wi-Fi name. And for this part, actually, we can choose the encryption and do not encrypt. And here we can see for this page, the encryption or not encrypt. We can choose the do not encrypt, so the encryption is open. Okay. So if you choose encrypt, you can choose which encryption you can configure. Okay. So after this, we can create the VLAN information. The VLAN information is for example, the 50. So segment is the default gateway is 192.168.50.1, and we enable the DHCP pool. We can choose in this page. We can choose you want to access the network from the gateway or the core switch. So if you set the DHCP server is the gateway from the router, it means this network is a level 2 network. If you choose the core switch, it's recommended, and it means you will create the level 3 network. Okay. And then we will deliver this configuration to all the devices. So this is the process for us to create the wireless network. And then we also have to create like the public and to set the encryption way and set the Wi-Fi password. So for the X Hotel, this Wi-Fi, we create the Wi-Fi password is X Hotel. Login. And for the X Hotel login, we can provide this password to our public customer so that they can access the network. Okay, then we can choose set the VLAN information and to set the network to set the default gateway, and then to choose which device will become the DHCP pool. Okay, so this is the configuration for indoor configuration. And for where network configuration, I can do the demo for you by our Reyee Cloud. Okay, so I think you can see the rigid cloud operation, right? So can you see this? Yeah, okay. So I will do this simple for you. And we choose one project and then adding two to create the network. Okay. And now in our network, we choose to create the awareness VLAN. So because now we have choose the awareness VLAN. Now we choose the add weird VLAN information. For example, for this VLAN, and we set this mark is IPv, and the VLAN ID information is 130. So the gateway information is 192.168.130.1. Okay, and for the IP segments, we choose from the 1 to 254. So here we can choose assign the IP address from the gateway or the core switch. So here we choose the gateway. It means for whole the network is a level 2 network, and then next. And then we can choose the device. So for example, we choose the device about the NBS, okay, and choose the interface, which we want the 130 function as this device. And then we can choose the other device. And now to select the device interface you want to configure the VLAN information is 130. And then use the next and confirm about the port. So it will create the sub-interface on NBI device, and then to set the VLAN information on every NBIS device, and then use the apply. So for this configuration, we are delivered to our network. Okay, so this is a configuration for us to create the weird network. So now let's back to the training material. Okay, so this is a part for you to do the weird network configuration. So here is the part for weirdness network configuration. Actually, we know some APs we are adding to the group. For example, the outdoor group, because this AP doesn't need to broadcast the SSID information for the whole network. For example, now in the network, we have the SSID, such as the staff, such as the public, such as the guest, such as the outdoor. So for some AP device, actually just need to broadcast the SSID, for example, the staff, or the public, or the guest. And for another AP device, don't need to broadcast the SSID, just need to broadcast the outdoor SSID to the users. So now, how do we do this configuration for outdoor device? So here we can see, first we have to go to the project management, and then to add the device group here and choose the outdoor. And then after this, actually we create the device group successfully, and back to the project and choose the AP device. Here we can see we have 3 AP devices, and we want one AP device to add it into the outdoor. So here we added the RAP 6262 for this outdoor AP to the outdoor group. Okay. And here, after we create the project, we can see the outdoor group in our project, and we add this device into the outdoor. So we can see add this device to outdoor group. Okay. And then we can to modify the SSID information about every group. So for example, now for the main group, we provide the SSID information. For example, the hotel, guest, staff, then public. And we don't want to provide this SSID information about outdoor group. We just want to create one SSID to outdoor APs. So we can delete all the SSID information here. Okay, so we delete one by one about every SSID information because it's actually to follow the configuration about our Excel hotel. So we have to do this selection and then to create a new SSID for outdoor. And then to set the outdoor SSID VLAN information, for example, is 40. Okay. And after we configure about this VLAN information, and we can see to go back to our page, and we can see the X-Hotel or dot on our page. So it means for all dot AP device can broadcast the SSID. The name is X-Hotel or dot. So this is the configuration for wireless network. Okay, and the next is the authentication and IPTV. So for this part, do you have any problems about the basic configuration? If you don't have the problem, we can continue to introduce the authentication tab and about the IPTV service. Yeah, I saw someone send the message to me to ask the presentation slate. Yeah, and to leave the email information to me. Okay, I will note this email information and to send the email to you. And after the training, okay, and about the basic configuration, do you have any problems? If you have any problems, you can send to the blank. If you don't have, I will continue. Okay, I have sent the email to you. And after the training, okay. Okay, and we continue to the authentication function. And for the authentication, actually provides the different authentication to our customer. First is the one click, and the second is the vendor authentication, and third is account authentication. Actually, for one click is the open authentication. For the customer access to the network, they don't need to do any additional configuration. Don't need to type the username, don't need to type the passwords. Okay, so for this process, the client access to the network and then we'll see the page pop up. And then we have to click the one click, this button, and then we access to the network. So this is a simple way for our public guests to access to the network. And next is the venture authentication. For venture authentication, actually we have to create some access codes for our customer. Okay, and we can do this page on our page. So I will show you about the captive portal. Okay, so can you see the screen of my website? And now I am into one project. Okay. And here we choose the authentication and account for this part. You can see it. And then to choose. Okay. Actually, I have recording all the process. I will send the recording videos after the training. Okay. And then to choose the captive portals. Okay, now we switch to the captive portal and we want to add the captive portal information and add it. And to tap the policy name, here we can tap the policy name. For example, is a hotel. Okay, and here is the policy mode. And we can choose the inner, local, and external. So for this page, we can add the page. After this page, here we can see different login options on this. It's a one-click, venture, account, SMS, and registration. So for the login options, we can see all of these we can use this with. So here we provide the one-click and venture authentication and account authentication. So through ways we can use. Okay, so this is the authentication tab. So back to our website, and we can create the policy portal name, for example, the hotel. And to set, now we use the one-click login for our customer and to enable the show balance page. So after we enable this function, after the customer log into the network successfully, we can see some information in our website. And then after this, actually, we can upload some image here to identify the logo of our company. And of course, here we can see some information like the picture, like the text, the picture we can add into to this page. After this, we click the OK. So more information you can see on the Reyee Cloud and complete it. And next is OK. So after we create this portal successfully, and we can use this portal. And to choose the policy model, you can use the inner, local, external. So actually the inner, local, external is the policy mode. And which mode you want to choose, we back to the material, we can see. The policy mode, inner, it means the cloud-based authentication. So for our customer, we provide the username and password to our customer. So our cloud will help us to do the authentication. And for the local, actually, it's a device-based local authentication. We have to enable the authentication function on our NBR device so that we can see the authentication configuration. And the third is the external. For the external, actually, we have to set the third-party authentication. And we can see the process about different policy modes. First is the inner. And for inner, actually, is our phone will send the message to AP and ask, I want to visit our internet. And our AP will receive the information and feedback. Here is the URL, please access to this URL. But for the URL, actually, is the address for Reyee Cloud. So when we receive the URL information, and we will send the message to this URL directly, and then the Reyee Cloud will give me the login page. And so on this page, we can fill in some account information, such as the venture information, such as the username and password information. Okay. And then we can see for the policy mode, actually, we provide the my vendor information is what, and please check. So from the phone to the Reyee Cloud. And then the Reyee Cloud will feedback the information is your account information is correct. And please visit the results. And then we'll pop up this page. To remain our customer, you can access the network. And after this, our Reyee Cloud will send the information to our AP and tell our AP the client is accessed to the internet. So this is the inner policy mode. Actually, this way can help us to log in our network easily. And another policy mode is the local. So for local is different from the inner because for the authentication process is related by MBR device. So first for the Reyee Cloud, have to do the synchronization and to do the configuration to our MBR device. We have to do some operation so that our MBR device will learn or will synchronize this information from Reyee Cloud, include the authentication IP address and authentication IP range account information. Okay, and then our PC or our client will send the message to MBR device to ask, I want to visit the internet. So the MBR device will feedback the login page. And then our customer can fill in this page. And then the phone or the TV or the PC can provide the vendor information or the username and password information to our MBR device. And our MBR device will to check the account information. So to make sure the account is correct or not correct. So this is the local. So the differences between the inner and local actually is the authentication on Reyee Cloud or on MBR device. This is the differences. Okay. So because of this process, we will relate the new protocol is the Wi-Fi dog. The Wi-Fi dog actually is very super for multiple authentication method and supporting the awareness marking. So we use the Wi-Fi dog to provide different captive portal configuration. So now let's take the videos about how to configure the captive and to do the user group and do the rate limit. So before the video, actually, we have to take look at the rate limit rules. Here we provide the different SSID information for our Reyee Hotel Solution. The SSID is staff and the guest and the public. And for the staff, actually we set the authentication way is open. And the portal authentication is the account. And then to set the speed limit is 10 Mbps. And for another SSID information, we set the authentication is open. And the portal authentication is a vendor. And the down speed is 10 Mbps and up speed is 5 Mbps. And for the last SSID, we set the authentication is WPA or WPA2 PSK. So we have to increase the public Wi-Fi and then set the password information here. For the portal authentication, actually we use the one click. Okay, now let's take the videos about the how to do the authentication. So actually, the operation we have shown for you about this part first we have to choose the captive portal page, and then set the policy name and choose which mode you want to use. Maybe it's the inner or the local or the external, and to set the SSID information and set the signals online period, maybe 1 day or 1 week, and add the capital page. For the capital page, we can configure the login option. Maybe you can choose the one-click, venture, and account information here. And here, be careful for the post login URL. Actually, for here, this URL, you can use the URL information for your hotel, so that can do some advertisement for you. And then to add the company logo, set the page. And you can add some information for this captive portal. And after this, actually, we create the captive page successfully, and we use this captive page to do the authentication. Okay, after this, actually, we can create the read limit template. So here, I will do the demo for you by Reyee Cloud website. Okay, so can you see my website? Okay, so yeah, you can see it. So I will continue. And after we create the captive portal and we use the user management for this way, okay. And for user management, we first have to create the user group. And we click the user group and add the user group information. For example, here is a group for staff. Okay, and after this, we can set the press and the maximum upload rate, maximum download rate. So for example, here we set the upload rate is 10 Mbps and the download rate is 10 Mbps. So for this, we will rate the rate limit. And then to ban MAC on first use, it means if our customer access to the network, and then the MAC address of our phone of the PC will be recorded on our Reyee Cloud. And then to click the OK. So now we will create the user group successfully. So also we can provide the different user group. So for example, here is staff, and we can create the guest. And then to set the upload is 5 and download is 10. And then to ban the MAC on first use, and then click the OK. So after this, we have to create the account information and the venture information for our users. So here we switch to the account and add the account information. For example, now we have one employee or one staff. The name is Daniel. Okay, it's a David. And then to set the password, David123. And then to band the user group. So here we can see for this parameter, we have to choose one parameter which is created right now. So right now we have created the guest and the staff group. So here we have to choose. For David, actually it belongs to the staff user group, right? And then we band the David, this account to staff group. So it means if David use the count access to the network, and for David, the upload bandwidth is 10, and the download bandwidth is 10. And then we click the OK. So when David uses this account and this password to log in to our network, we will see the information here and can see the MAC address, see the activity information for this page. Of course, for venture is the same. We also can to create the venture. For example, as a venture information, the quantity we set the 10, and user group we banding to the guest. So it means we provide the 10 account information for the guest group. And the guest group, actually, the up is the 5, the down is the 10. And then we can see the results is generate 10 venture code for our customer. So if one customer needs to access to the network, we can choose one of these to them so that they can access to the network. So this is a venture account creation. So for this part, actually, is the video to show how to create the user group. So right now we have used a demo for you. So we skip these videos. So after this, we actually can to check the account results. So we can to see some detailed information here. Okay, now we switch to the user management. And now we access the PC or the phone to the network. We use the team this account, and we can see the detailed information here, right? We can see the MAC address. So it means this user successfully to log in to the wellness network. Okay, and next, we also can to check the one-click results. So after our user to access the network, use a one click, and we can check the results on our page. And we can see for this, we use a one click, right? We use one click. And then to check the results on our website. And next is the venture check. After our users use the venture authentication way to log into our network, we can see the venture check. So from the 10 ventures, we can choose one to our customer. And our customer access to the network through this venture information. And then we can see now one customer use one of these. And we can check the MAC address on MAC banding information and see the MAC address information, see the time of banding about this customer. So this is the venture check. Okay. So about this part, actually, we can do some login tests and do the speed test. And to test maybe our read limit template is okay or not function. And we can see after when we use the speed test, we can test the speed is 10 Mbps, and the upload is the 5 Mbps. So this is results for guest Wi-Fi. And for other Wi-Fi, it's the same. And we have to access to the network and then to test our Wi-Fi results. We can see for the down bandwidth is 10, and for the upload also is 10. Okay, so this is authentication part. Does anyone have the problems about this part? And how to do the captive portal, and how to create the user group, and how to do the rate limit? If you have any problems, you can send to the blank about this configuration.